Hello everybody, very good evening. So that's there on your screen, blood relations. How important is the topic? Let's start with that. I'll not do an audio check today because I'm generally audible and then you keep kidding on that. Fine. So how important is this topic? I did a research on it. What I realized is that this is important when it comes in the form of a puzzle along with arrangement, but unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, we are not doing that today. So it's going to be very simple stuff today, very simple stuff. What we are going to do is the questions that appear only in the form of blood relations. So it will be a shortish session, probably an hour or so, not more than that. I have tried doing a research on it and have put in all the kind of questions that appear along with probably my inputs on one or two things, a couple of things as to how I would have done them. I mean, a little different, probably you'll know most of the things, so I do not think that's going to pose too many problems. At the end of the session today, I'll give you some tips on attempting the mocks. Fine. So that's an added incentive probably for today's session, since I do not find much juice in it. In fact, I'm very disappointed with the things that they actually give in this session. Fine. So in fact, I was wondering whether this should be actually devoted a topic. Anyway, so we will move forward. I'm giving you a question. Fine. In fact, the question that I'm going to give you now is probably the most difficult that I could find in this topic. Fine. And you'll be surprised at what it is. So I asked you to post something on it yesterday on our FB group, but nobody posted hardly anything. So I have made a few things, and here is the question for you. So do it fast and tell me what the answer is. I'll tell you my opinion on this. We are starting with this because I find it a little tough as compared to the rest of the things that appear in blood relations, right? So give me the answer for this one. Okay, if 4 is the answer, yes, all of you got it. All of you get it very easily, very simply. I do not think there is anything that can go wrong in this question. There are a couple of things that I wanted to tell you here. Still I can see some incorrect answers, second, first, third and all. Fine. So there are some very basic things that you should need to realize when doing these questions. I'll do just 5 or 6 here and we'll give you some tips on it. 4 is the correct answer, all of you got it. The idea is how you save time while doing questions like this. Now look at it very carefully. Do not say that it's a simple question, I'm wasting so much time on it. I wanted to tell you something when it comes to questions like this. What is the problem when you get a question like this? The problem is that this is almost like a reverse syllogism problem, fine, wherein these codes are given to us and we have to decipher the relationship. So had it been the other way around, that they give you a code like this, for example something like this, a minus b plus c into d, etc., you can just substitute the relationships here, fine, and arrive at the relationship. That's easier. But when it comes to something like this, putting in everything in these 5 options gets a little tedious, and that's the problem with these questions. So somebody rightly pointed out yesterday on the group that these are the questions that actually waste a lot of time, and you do not know whether they appear or not appear. So the only thing that we can do is just prepare for them. I'll tell you how I thought this can be done slightly easily. In fact, I checked a lot of questions and it was working at most of the places. Look at what is happening here. These are 4 signs, plus, minus, percent, and this is a cross multiplication bol lo ya whatever you call it. Fine. Look at what is happening here. When you talk about this first sign, can I say that the relationship is going up a level, or we can call it just +1 or whatever you call it? Fine. This is the relationship remains at the same level. In this one, it's again going a level up. I can call it +1 or whatever way you want to do it in your mind. And this is again that same level. So of these 4 symbols, fine, this one takes it a level up, this one takes it a level up, this is again, this does not take it anywhere, same level, and this does not take it anywhere, again the same level, because this is brother and sister. Mother and father would take it a level up. Fine, all of you understand this. Now look at what he is asking. He is saying which of the following shows that P is the maternal uncle of Q. Fine. So whatever relationship is there between P and Q, it's of this level that P is plus 1 or P is a generation above Q. So these are generations only, na? So P has to be a generation above Q. Fine. Of these 4 signs, can you see a sign that's taking you a generation down? No. So either it's something like this, which is the same generation, or it's a generation up, like this one and this one, right? So when you look at, just think logically now, without doing anything. When you look at it, can I say that I can straight away eliminate option 2 and 5? How would I do that? Look, this is P here at this end. Fine. I know that whatever sign I use here, all the signs, all these signs, without doing anything, whatever signs I use here, Q would be a level above P. Fine. Q would be some level above P. Fine. It can be 2 level, 1 level. I am not looking at anything. I just realize here that P is at the extreme right end. Fine. So P is at the extreme right end. So P can P be the maternal uncle, or for that matter anybody else, a level above somebody who appears in the first place? Are you getting my logic? It cannot be done. Possible ही नहीं है ना. यहाँ से तो Q का level would go above P's level in this direction. So I can directly say that 2 and 5 can be eliminated. This is important. You should realize this part. So once I know this, I'll try eliminating others as well. How do I eliminate that? For example, if you already know that between P and Q, let's say this is P and this is Q. Fine. So जो भी इसके बीच में है, P should be just 1 level above Q. Fine. Now you will eliminate or try to eliminate by doing this part. You know that a level up means either this sign plus sign, or it means this percent sign. So this can take you a level up. But if you look here, for example, in the first option, there are 2 such signs. This is plus and this is percent, and the rest we already know that would give you a flat trajectory. I mean, जो माइनस वगैरह का साइन है, they would not take you up or take you down, they'll keep you at the same level. So if you look here, this will take you a level up, this will take you a level up. It means that P would be at least 2 levels above Q, क्योंकि नीचे आने का तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है ना. So what it means is that this can also be ruled out. I'll come to gender as well. Just listen to me. There are multiple ways that you can employ here to arrive at the answer quickly. So it means I can eliminate E by this option, because what I am looking for, or what I need to look for in questions like this is, if you have to arrive at this one, fine, let's say something like this is written, W, X, Y, Z, fine. If you know that this W is plus 1 over Z, or W is just 1 generation over Z, can I say simply that it has to be either a plus or a percent, and just one to arrive at the answer? Yes, that is the only possible way. If there are 2, then it will pass a generation. If there is none, then it would be at that same level. So it means with this logic I can eliminate 1 as well. So the only 2 options left with me would be option 3 and option 4. Now this can happen because if you look here, there is just 1 plus here and there is just 1 plus here. Fine, so it's 1 generation above. That is something that I know for sure. But then another thing is, if you look at 3, now we use gender here. If something is plus B, A plus B means what? It means that A is the mother of B. Fine, it means that अगर किसी के बाद में plus लगाए, let's say it's X plus, it means that this person X would be a female. Now if I use the same logic, can I eliminate 3? Yes, I can. Why? Because P plus means that P has to be a female. So this can also not be the answer, and the answer becomes option 4. Now do not say that I took 5 minutes to solve this. I did not take 5 minutes to solve this. I am just explaining it to you in detail. So there are multiple ways in which you can eliminate these things. So what I did was, first I eliminated by this logic, by this generation logic. P cannot arrive at this corner. Fine, हो ही नहीं सकता है. Then I calculated this plus 1 thing, and I realized that in 1 it's plus 2, so I eliminated this one. Then and finally used gender and arrived on the answer as option 4. So this is the way that you use in these questions, and that is the only way. I do not think that you have to make the family tree here. If at all, if it's a very difficult question, probably you'll have to make a family tree just in the last 2 options, which if you ask me, I'll probably not make. Just mark the answer at random and move forward. I hope you got this. I explained it in detail. Now I'm giving you the second question. Try answering that very quickly using this. Even if you're a little slow in the beginning, I do not mind, but try using this. Do not just jump to a family tree straight away. Use this, see if you can eliminate something, and then we'll discuss this. So I'm giving you some more time for this second question, so that you can start thinking like this. Think on this, give me the answer. Vivek, I'll come to everything, a generation above, a generation below. Just let me go with the flow. Fine, just look at this. Use the same method. I do not mind if you take 2-3 minutes. We are understanding something. This is training. we are not supposed to hit sixers here. Just you know, work on your defense, work on middling the ball here. Fine. Answer this now. Okay, I'm getting a lot of fives. Yes, 5 is the correct answer. Now how do you eliminate here? I'll again use that same thing. A plus B means A is the brother of B, same level. A minus B, A is the sister of B, same level. A into B means A is the father of B. What you need is that C has to be the son of M. Fine. So M has to be at a +1 level. If you look at this, you can straight away realize that this cannot be the answer. But I mean, you can eliminate in any way, whatever you feel like. But this cannot be the answer. The reason is again very simple. Fine, C and can M be to the right of C? No, this is not possible. Fine, because the generation would move up in this left direction. This is what this thing tells us. So 3 can be eliminated. Now there are 2 options that can be eliminated here very simply by just using gender. Look at this. 1 and 4. There are multiple ways of eliminating. I do not know how you eliminated. This is how I am looking at it. If you look at 1 and 4, you cannot ascertain the gender of C by looking at 1 and 4. Why? For the gender of C, you will need a sign after C. Since it says C is the son of M, it means C has to be a male. Fine, male. Fine. It means you cannot talk about certainty for option 1 and 4. So these are also eliminated. So what are we left with? We are left with just option 2 and option 5. इनको check कर लो यार. This is quite simple in fact. और कुछ इसमें eliminate हो रहा है क्या? What do I need to do here? A minus B means A is the sister of B, and I think the answer becomes yes. This has to be option 5. और कुछ इसमें है ही नहीं, हो ही नहीं सकता. So N and C are basically siblings, and M is the father of N and C. So option 5 becomes the answer. So if at all you have to check here, I don't know, शायद 2 में भी कुछ लग जाए, but it's not really required. It's very very simple. What you realize quickly is because there is there is just these 3 involved. In fact, even this 4th one is not involved. You realize quickly that N and C are siblings, and you just quickly realize that M is the father of both N and C, and that gives you the answer as option 5 in this case. I'm moving forward to the next one now. Rishikesh says I have a doubt. Is the case that everyone +1 factor should always be on the left? ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं है. It can be anything. Probably I have put in a question here in which in the reverse order. Let's see. Let's move forward. Answer this quickly first. Okay, all of you are saying 3. Let's try eliminating here. Fine. Now what you know is that m is the maternal grandmother. So maternal grandmother क्या होती है आपकी नानी, जिसको हम बोलते हैं mother's mother basically. So maternal grandmother would be +2, or can I say 2 generations above this guy T, or guy or girl, I do not know, the gender is not given here. Fine. So if you look here, the two options or two symbols that give me a +1 here are this thing plus and this cross. So they give me a +1. So can I say, now just listen to it very carefully, can I say that since there is no negative sign here, so of the 3 symbols here, 2 symbols have to be plus and cross, so they can be multiple as well, but if I get something like this plus and cross, or cross cross, or plus plus, only then I will get 2 generations above T. So between M and T there should be 2 symbols, either like this or like this or like this. This is just for understanding. Fine, it has to be like this. Now look at which all options have them or do not have them. So plus cross, fine, you look at the first one, इसमें तो है ही नहीं ऐसा, 2 generation ऊपर जा ही नहीं सकता है. And if you look at which one, I think plus cross, इसमें भी नहीं है. I think 4th option, yes, even this does not have it. Fine, so we are left with plus cross. Second में it's there, this is plus cross, it's there, and in this one there are 2 crosses. Now when I look at this, I feel tempted to check 5 first. The reason is very simple. When there are 2 such symbols line से लगे हुए like that, it becomes very simple to check. Check it first. What does it tell you? It tells me that percent second is the, yeah, this is possible, yes. So it basically tells you this is percent is where, this is percent. So it says T के wife का mother, so it cannot be maternal grandmother, right? So this is T के wife का mother, which is also eliminated. So we'll just left with 2 and 3 here, going by this logic. And if you look at this, 2 would be eliminated by the fact that this A plus B means that A is the father of B. If A is the father of B, A is male here, so it means that M here is male, so this is also eliminated. I arrive at option 3. Would I check option 3? Would I check option 3 here? No, I would not check option 3, because I know that if the question is correct, then option 3 has to be the answer. So you got it, you eliminated 2 or 3 by the generation gap, and you eliminated 1 by gender, and 1 was very simple, you just checked it and you arrived at the final answer, which in this case becomes 3. So the next one now, we just do 5 or 6 on this, you will get how we eliminate, and then we move forward. Fine, again everything here would be very simple in this, so do not expect any magic today. These are the tricks that we employ. Answer this one now. Alright, all of you are saying 4. I think yes, 4 is the correct answer. How do I proceed in this? I eliminate 2 by gender first. And there can be multiple ways, but this is what clicked to me. T is the daughter of P, is fine. So you have to ascertain the gender of T, which is not clear in 1 and 3. So basically you are left with this one, and this one. Fine. I do not know if there is another way of eliminating it, but what clicked to me here was that if you look at this, fine, this plus and minus here, they are sibling signs. Both of them, sister brother. when you put a cross here, fine, when you put this cross sign which denotes a spouse, which is wife here, fine, then you're moving to a different family, and they're just talking about, you know, a father daughter or mother daughter kind of a relationship. So when you put a sign like this here, just compare these three, fine. There are multiple ways to eliminate. I'm just telling you my thoughts on this, probably will help you somewhere. Just compare these, fine. इसमें भी देखो क्रॉस है, बट इसमें क्रॉस कहां पर है, इस जगह पर क्रॉस है, फाइन. सो इट कैन बी दैट यू अराइव एट अ पेरेंट एट दिस लेवल ऑफ क्यू, and then you talk about the spouse of the parent, which will be okay. But if you look here, this is again, I'm going a little deeper into it. I try to arrive at a logic in all the cases, all the kind of questions. But if you look at this one here, the spouse is happening in between. This will come in handy in, you know, tougher questions if it can be framed, if any can be framed here. So when you talk about a spouse at this level, do you not think that I was talking about siblings here, right? At here, now we are talking about spouse here. So sibling to spouse, the moment you go down to spouse here, it'll be difficult to, or rather I'll say impossible to come back to your mother and father at this stage. होगा ही नहीं ना, सोच के देखो. This will come in handy when you do tougher questions और कुछ मुश्किल आ जाएगा. You are talking about siblings here, RT, fine. When you do this cross here at this stage, you are basically talking about a spouse, wife, husband, whatever. When you are talking about a spouse के जो भी connections होंगे वो तो अलग होंगे ना. You will not be able to come back to your parent. So by this logic, I eliminated this one. 4 2 बचे हुए, check कर लो इसको. I think 4 satisfies. What is this? T R Q, and this is T is the daughter. Fine, T is the daughter of R. I think 4 satisfies in this. Yes, that satisfies. I just wanted you to understand the logic for 5. 5 was important because it comes in handy whenever there is a connection like a mother or a spouse, fine, and then there are blood relations on that front. Please realize that it starts moving towards the family of your mother, which is, you know, slightly different from immediate family, or the family of your wife. So I'm, let's say, giving you a relationship that talks about wife or husband, wife or mother, and then I'm talking about siblings or parents and father and mother and whatever. Please realize that the moment I put that sign of spouse in between, or to be more specific, wife in between, it will go to a different family. So that's what I kind of realized here, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Otherwise it's very simple, so that kind of makes it easier in some tougher questions. It's simple, you got the answer. Now the fifth one, just think if you can apply something different here. Just look at this, if you can see something here, see something more. I know all of you will get the answer, it's simple only. Okay, most of you saying 3 is correct. Again, I'll share with you my thoughts here. Fine, just listen to it very carefully. You probably might have something to think about these questions if at all they appear. Just look at how I proceeded in this. Look at option 1. Option 1 is not possible for the simple reason that B means A is the father of B. So it's a male. P here is male. So it means it's ruled out. It's very simple. I eliminated 2 for the simple reason that there are 2 3s here. Fine. And 3 is the only symbol, this symbol, that gives me a +1. So it means if there are 2 3s here, there is no way to go back when it comes to generations. So 2 3s means that it's a generation gap between एक minute, did I say makes just a second. Okay, just a moment. Okay, I think it's just this thing that we need to consider. So I thought probably incorrectly here. Just let me figure out again. This is definitely incorrect. That is fine. Just give me a moment. This is so what I'm looking at is just this thing and just this thing, and this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. If just give me a moment. Okay, how do you eliminate after that? Just give me a moment. If I have to eliminate 2 4 and 5 directly, I'm just thinking on those lines. How do you eliminate 2 4 and 5 directly in this case? I had thought of something, I've forgotten. What was it? Share something if you guys eliminated it. Otherwise, banake to this can be done easily, but I do not want to draw anything here. Can this be done directly? Somebody says both 2 and 3 correct. Is it? Is somebody else also getting it? Let me just check once. Yes, I think both are correct. Yes, you are right. I think both 2 and 3 are correct in this case. Yes, so it becomes cannot be determined. Right. How do you eliminate 4 and 5 in this case? Quickly, if you have to eliminate, I thought of something here. Yes. Okay, listen to this. Alright, the answer would be 2 and 3, that you are absolutely fine. How would you eliminate 4? 4 ke liye I had something good to tell you. Just look at this. When you have to, just look at this relation. P is the mother of T. Fine. When you have to arrive at your mother, let's say this is U, which is T, and this is P. When you have to arrive at your mother, what is the route that you would generally take? It would be something like this, that there is some X sibling of yours, fine, and then there is another sibling or something like that, fine, and then you will probably go to your father, something like this, and then there will be a spouse relationship between a mother, father, something like that. Or what you will do is that you will go directly through a sibling. So it can be like this direct, or you go through a sibling, or you take this father route. The problem that I saw in 4, which makes me believe that a statement like 4 would never give you the answer in this case, would be, look at this 7 here. This 7 is sister, fine. Can you ever get an answer when this is a sister? So what it means is that if you are saying, just listen to me very carefully here, this is important. If this 7 is here, it means basically you are saying that if P has to be your mother, then Q has to be, this is the sister, so Q has to be your mother's brother. Can it get this complicated here in 2 steps? It will not. Just think about it. This 7 here, if you look at this, if this 7 is here and P is your mother, you are assuming that if P is your mother, it means that Q becomes your maternal uncle, mother's brother. Can it get this complicated here? नहीं जाएगा ना कभी भी. सोच के देखो, because the relations are not given like this. That's why I will never get into this form, because the relations are the form father, brother, mother, sister. So from T to Q you cannot jump like this, and that's how I eliminated this option 4. I was wondering that there was something good in this question, I've forgotten. There was some learning here, so that's how we do it. Otherwise this is I think simple. 2 and 3 both satisfy, and that gives you the answer here. Yes. 3 you can see can be eliminated. Yes, 3 can be eliminated here. Anything else in this in terms of food for thought for us? Father. All right. Another thing is that another thing I wanted to tell you here. Look at this 3 here in this case. When you start with 2 and go to R, you get a 3 here. So it arrives at the stage of father at this stage itself, at the stage of R. So when you look at this, fine, you are here at the stage of your father R, and P has to become your mother. how would it be possible, even if you put a relationship like here, when you have arrived at the stage of the father, just think about it, just this is again food for thought. If R is your father from this 3, you put anything here, can you ever arrive at your mother in 2 steps? It's simply not possible, because once you have arrived at your father, the only thing that you can do would be just put a spouse relationship, which in this case will not happen because there are 2 things here. So this 5 would also eliminate like this. I hope you got this. I think I made some slight error while framing the question, that's why it became like that. But the answer in this case becomes 2 and 3. 2 not satisfied. 2 क्यों नहीं satisfied हो रहा है? Let me just check so that I clear this confusion. T is P is the mother of T. T2, so it's brother, and Q becomes father, and 2 is satisfying. I think yes. 2 and 3 would be the answer. What is the problem with 2? Tell me, somebody write what is the problem with 2. Yes, both of them are correct, 2 and 3, that's what I think. Yes, both are correct. I think both 2 and 3 are correct. Second, T is brother, so eliminated. So ठीक है ना यार, let's look at this. This is the person T. Fine. R becomes what? R becomes the brother. Fine. And then R is the brother of T. Now look at Q. What does Q become? I think Q becomes the father here, and P becomes the mother. Yes, हो तो रहा है ना. T का brother would be R. R का father would be T's father, which is Q, and Q's wife would be P, and that's why it's satisfying. That's why it's satisfying. Yes. I'm moving to the next one now. The last one in this series of codes, I wanted to tell you certain things here. This is the last one, then we'll move to the other type. That will also not be difficult. Answer this now. Yes, Saurabh, second and third both are correct. Yes. Understood. Answer this one now. This is the last one in this series. I just framed 5 questions on this. 6, I think. Think about it. You probably give it 1 or 2 minutes, because you would want to arrive at a methodology here. In this case, I put a plus and a minus as well. Just look at it carefully and give me an elegant answer. Answer आप सभी लोग निकाल लोगे. Just tell me how you can think about it, so that you can practice further and optimize your methods. Think about it. Okay, most of you are giving the answers. Let's just look at it. कैसे करेंगे? In this case, there is a +1 and a -1. I thought I'll just put one more variation. Wife, brother would be same level, so that's 0 level. Son would be -1. A is the son of B. Yes, this is -1, and A is father of B. Just be careful with one thing here. Just a word of caution. At times just don't look at this relationship. Fine, ऐसा भी कभी हो सकता है A is son of B की जगह B is son of A लिखा हो. Fine, so in that case it becomes +1. So just remember this. Just something to caution you on something like this. Now look at this. If you have to go at a +1 level, the only way would be the star, and -1 would be this at the rate of. Otherwise there is no way. Can I say that I can eliminate 1 simply because there are 2 stars? There are 2 stars, so तो 2 level ऊपर हो जाएगा ना. This will be +2. This cannot be the answer. Look at this one. In this case, only this part would be considered. Fine, so that we do not make a stupid error here. Again you realize that it's going up star and then it's coming down because of this at the rate of. So this would also not give you the answer because you need exactly +1 here. Fine, look at which one now. Look at this third one. This is star. This looks fine, so we can leave this probably at the moment. And the fourth one, again this would be MSNT. Again this will not satisfy. Look at just this part. Fine, so there are 2 stars and nothing coming down. So can I say M would be 2 generations above T? So this again is ruled out. We're just left with 3 and 5. What is the problem with 5 here? If you look at this, this can be eliminated. Yes, this 5 looks correct to me. Yes, this is giving us the answer. Yes, that's giving us the answer. I don't know if there is something. Alright, I'll just tell you why I'll check with 5 and not 3 first. If I look at this looks like a longer change to me. MNSPT. Fine. So if I have to check in between these two, I'll check this first. I think I check this first and realize that's my answer. That's why I'll go with option 5 straight away. And I'll realize that that's my answer. Check भी कर लेते हैं इसको. P wife and this would be brother. Fine, so this is the person, this is wife, this is brother-in-law, and that becomes the father-in-law. That's my answer. Fine. You should realize that if nothing is clicking and you are left with this, so this is 5 letters and this is 4 letters. I'll check with the 5th letter one first. Had it not satisfied, I've gone with 3, so I did not eliminate 3. Mark the answer as 5 straight away, and that's how we do it. Fine. So there are a couple of smart things that you can use here. This is again elimination. You would hardly ever need to draw that thing here. The only thing is that just don't keep looking for it. So if it clicks, it clicks. If it does not click, just draw it quickly and move forward. But उसमें भी आप कुछ smart चीज़ें हमेशा use कर सकते हो. Genders का ध्यान रखना. Take care of generations. Take care of these end things. Take care of the movement, whether it's going the plus direction, minus direction, something like that. I did this because I realized that this is one question type that wastes a lot of time. And if it still does not click, I'll leave it. Had I been you, I would have left a question out of 5 probably. If I get 5, if there is something that's not clicking in 20-30 seconds, I'll probably leave it and move forward. Yes, Adam, that's the summary. I eliminated it because the generation thing was not satisfying. I hope all of you got this. Whenever there is a relationship between A and B is given, what I know simply is whether this is +1 or +2 or something like this. The first thing that I do is that I check with this plus minus what is satisfying. So I eliminate a few options based on this. Then I'll check genders. Fine. So if M is father-in-law of T, T का gender को तो मुझे नहीं पता है, but M का gender मुझे पता है कि M would be positive. So M would be male here in this case. तो उस केस में भी मैं यहाँ पर कुछ एलिमिनेट कर सकता हूँ यहाँ पर. सो एंड लाइकवाइज प्रोसीड एलिमिनेट एंड अराइव एट द आंसर. सो दिस इज इट. इसमें और कुछ नहीं है बताने के लिए. देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नथिंग to tell you here. This is the next question. Now this is a variation that comes here for these kind of questions. Just look at this and tell me how you would answer a question like this. This is a variation that comes here, so I put it here. Look, there are no hard and fast rules to solve these questions. I just thought hard about it and thought of ways in which you can eliminate your donkey work here or reduce at least the donkey work here. So that's how we do it. Himalaya, if you're talking about blood relation puzzle, when it comes to arrangement, we are not doing it. I told you yesterday only. We are just doing blood relation questions here, not blood relation puzzles related to arrangement. I'll do a separate session on them. Blood relation puzzles based on arrangement, right? So this is just blood relation questions, a very short session. Probably we'll just wind up in half an hour. Okay, answer this now. Deepak, I do not know if there is anything tough in this topic, seriously. Okay, another thing I put in here for a reason. This is, if you look here, these are 6 statements. Fine. Again, the way I'll do it is I'll just look at this. This is plus 1 here, and this is plus 1. Fine. Baki is a flat hai. Wife, husband, brother, sister, they are at the same level. So when somebody says how is A related to G, I realize quickly that all the symbols are used exactly once here. If I'm not wrong, yes, all the symbols are used exactly once here. So what I realize is that A would be 2 generations above G. Fine. So what you know straight away is that father and uncle would not be the answer in a question like this. So they would not be the answer. So answer can be 1, 2 and 4. And then I realize through this sign here, that's how I did it. Fine. X is the husband of, so it tells me that this is male. Fine. If this is male, so this grandmother would also not do. That's the reason why I eliminated 2, 3, 5 very quickly. Now it's left between grandfather and maternal grandfather. Now do not tell me कि आप तुक्का मारना बता रहे हो. Had I been in your place, I would have straight away marked maternal grandfather for a very simple reason. You look at these spouse relations here, wife and where is this husband. Fine. Whenever you have so many wife husband relations, just try making it for yourself. Don't tell me. I'm just sharing my instinct with you, how I think about these questions. So when I'm just left with grandfather and maternal grandfather, and I realize that there are so many relations like this in which there are at least two, not at least two, exactly two spouse relations. Fine. There is a very good chance that I will be getting into my spouse's family. Just think about it. It's again food for thought. You can check it. It can be checked very quickly. G se start karenge. This is sibling, father, mother, and then you get to it very quickly. I'm just telling you, in a question it might come in handy for you. Just think about it. Once you eliminate this and you have to choose between father and maternal grandfather with so many relations here and two relations of the form spouse, I feel compelled to go with maternal grandfather without checking. I do it in exams. Seriously, I'm telling you, I'm not advising anybody to do it. Fine. If I can mark this maternal grandfather in 10 seconds and can save 30 seconds here, I'll capitalize somewhere else. That's the reason why I keep telling you such things. There will be 100 questions in prelims exam and you'll have got 60 minutes. फाइन. तो इसमें 1 मिनट लगाने की जगह मैं इसको 10 सेकंड पे 50% चांस लेके आगे बढ़ूंगा और मेरा इंस्टिंक्ट कहता है दैट द आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन 4 बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी सच रिलेशंस एंड यू वर्क ऑन योर इंस्टिंक्ट इन सच क्वेश्चंस. सो दैट्स समथिंग दैट आई वांटेड टू शेयर विद यू. दैट्स व्हाई आई पुट इट हियर. Hope you understand that. The next one, this is the next one. Answer this very quickly. This is a very simple one. In fact, nothing to tell you here. I picked it up from some exam source only. Answer this one now. Okay, this is 4. I think there's not much time to spend here. Just one thing that I wanted to clarify here. When you get something as simple as this one, किसी भी झोल में पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, सीधा से इसको सॉल्व कर लो यार. मतलब दिस इज सो सिंपल दैट यू एक्चुअली डू नॉट नीड टू लुक एट फैमिली ट्री और you do not need to look at generation gap and something like that, isn't it? There are just 3 symbols here and you get single questions like this. So what I'll do is, this is another thing that I wanted to tell you here. You look at this relation, this is daughter, so you realize that L is the daughter of M. You start with M here, you realize L is the daughter. Then you look at this wala sign, fine, this sign here. Then you realize daughter ka father. So daughter ka father, probably I am talking about this M as the wife and this guy as the husband. Fine, this is it. And you look at this final sign here, which means sister. So basically I am talking about, if I'm M, I am talking about my husband's sister, which becomes a sister-in-law. इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है, तो इसमें आप कुछ भी ट्रिक लाने की कोशिश ही मत करना. Had it been 4 symbols like X, 1, Y, 2, Z, 3, W, something like that. This also, if I have to just plug in relations here, I'll just do it and not think about it. I did it in the last question for a simple reason. There were 6. So it will take me some time, but if it's 3 or 4, I'll do it very quickly. It will not take more than 15-20 seconds and I'll get it right. Fine. So do not get into +1 -2 here in this case and you get questions like this. It's all inspired from the actual questions. I'm giving you the next one now. Answer this quickly and we'll go to the other type then. This is the last one of this type. When these codes are given, answer this quickly. Okay, text solution says we can make tree here. In which one I do not understand, but probably there is a lag. Do not make tree unless and until it's badly required. Okay, I think Kritika answered it first. The answer would be 2 here. It's very simple. Again, there is absolutely nothing to do here. This relationship is wife relationship. Fine. So it means that R is the wife of D here. Then this minus is sister. Fine. So H is the sister-in-law of D, and this is plus, which is father. So this becomes father-in-law of D. I don't think there is anything here. The only thing that you need to realize is that it's not asking about how is G related to D, but about how is D related to G. So D becomes the son-in-law. Why son-in-law? Because this R and D relationship mein, it was given to us that R is the wife of D. Fine. So this R, D, this guy is a male. Fine. If this is male, so answer becomes option 2, which is son-in-law. There is absolutely nothing in this. If it comes in the paper, I do not mind if you do it very carefully, because this will in any case not take you more than 15-20 seconds if you be extra careful here and secure your 1 mark positively. Fine, this is it with symbols questions. There is nothing else to teach. What I'll advise you here at this stage is just practice 100-200 questions of this, and you'll start getting all the questions by instinct. Do not do any donkey work in these questions. There are so many things to work on your paper. Puzzles भी बचे हुए हैं ना, उनको कौन करेगा? चलो इसकी बात करते हैं इस वाले क्वेश्चन को. दिस इज अनदर टाइप दैट कम्स एट टाइम्स. आई डू नॉट नो हाउ यू फील अबाउट इट. जस्ट आंसर दिस क्विकली. Daughter, wonderful, it's daughter. Look, the reason I am doing this is there is nothing difficult in this. It's just about saving those crucial 15-20 seconds in this question. Now how do you do this? One way is that you make a family tree, but I would again advise against it. What is happening here? Just look at it carefully. We'll spend a minute here, then move forward. Who is talking? A is talking. Fine. When A is saying the wife of my husband, can I say this part? This is first part. I mean, you do not need to write it. You just do this mentally. So the moment I see this, the wife of my husband, can I say this reduces to A only? A is speaking. The wife of my husband would be A itself. Now you are talking about son. So who is this? This is stage 2. This is A's son. Is it fine? This is A's son, and now it's A's son's sister. So basically, what is this? This is A's daughter. You do not draw this, and you do it mentally in most of the cases. So what you realize is, I break this up into 3 parts when I am doing it mentally. Wife of my husband, it's me. Son would be my son then, and son's sister would be my daughter. So how is the lady related to A? So lady becomes the daughter of A. Again, nothing difficult here. I am reiterating so that you do not feel irritated कि आज क्या करा रहे हो. इसके लिए करा रहा हूँ because I want you to get this in 10 seconds. Fine, get it very fast, really fast. I am giving you the next one. There is nothing more to explain here. This is the next one. Give me the answer. Okay, wonderful. You are saying granddaughter. There is one thing to note here. That's why look, all these questions are inspired from the actual question. थोड़ा बहुत change होगा. I wanted to show some things to you. If you realize here, in this case, this A is redundant. In fact, this is superfluous data. This is not even required. If you look here, the only thing that you do it, now you do not do it, you do it mentally. The only thing that you make here would be this in your mind. If you realize here, this is how it's going to look. यही बनेगा ना, इसमें देखो A कहीं आता ही नहीं है. So this is D, C. So what do I do? It says B's father C. Fine, B's father C is this part. Fine, you think about it mentally. If you do not want to draw it, if you are willing to go the extra mile to do it mentally. B's father C is the only son of my father-in-law. Now, who is this guy whose father-in-law? Am I bothered here? It's not really required for the question. The only thing that's important is B's father is C, is the only son of D. This father-in-law thing I think is useless in this case. That's what I get. Fine. So it will be like the moment you get it B, C, D. That's the first thing. Sorry, I'll just write it a little neatly. So the first thing that comes to your mind would be something like this, B, C, D. And what you know, how is E, who is sister of B? So E is at this level. So now he's asking how is it related to D. Now since you know the gender of E, it's very clear. It's a generation gap of 2, or basically I'll say -2. She becomes the granddaughter. Fine. So I keep saying this because you need to save those 10-15 seconds by not drawing irrelevant data. If you draw it, I do not mind, because at times at the time of the exam it does not click. Fine. So at times you can do it, but if you try avoiding it by avoiding superfluous statements, it will be better for you at the time of an exam. And I've seen actual data, it happens in an exam. Fine. So many people are getting incorrect answers, Nick, because so many people are trying to do it very quickly. I do not mind जब तक ये ट्रेनिंग चल रही है. When it's training, you can do it, all the mistakes, practice 100-200 questions. Do not get a sitter like this incorrect in the exam. The next one, this is the next one, answer this now. नो संगीता, इट नॉट बी ग्रैंडसन, उसमें जेंडर दिया हुआ है, प्लीज लुक एट इट केयरफुली. Oh, so many incorrect answers. I'm happy, in fact. Avinash, I think, came up with the correct one. It'll be son, not himself. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? It'll be son, it'll be son. And look, it's very, very similar to what we did previously. Look at this. सब कुछ छोड़ दो. The only child of your father, or what? Only child of father would be you, na? Only child of your father and only child, it's you. So basically, when A says to B, his mother is the only child of your father. Who is your here? Your is B. So इसका मतलब only child of your father would be who? This would also be B. So basically what he is saying is, summarizes to this thing, his mother is B. इतना ही बचा ना है, सोच के देखो. It's nothing. Only child of father is B, because he is talking to B, A. Fine. So इसमें A का तो कोई यूज है ही नहीं. So this person is only child of father is B. Now his mother is B. So it reduces just this part. If his mother is B, what is that person? This gender is also given here. He is male, man की वजह से. Fine. So his mother is B. Who is that person? Sorry, son. And it can be nothing else. You got it right. You got it wrong, so many of you, because you probably tried to do it very quickly. Do it in practice. I do not mind, but do not get it right do not get it wrong in the exam. Fine. Mom नहीं होगा जितेंद्र, son होगा. उल्टा कर दिया आपने रिलेशन. एक बार चेक करके देखो. How is that person related to B? Son. How is B related to that person? Mom. Do you understand the difference? There's a difference. How is that person related to B? Son. He is son of B. How is B related to that person? B is the mom of that person, mother of that person. So that's how it's different. I'm moving to the next one. There is nothing more to explain here. Answer this one now. We'll just practice a few here and we'll move forward and you keep practicing then. Okay, Mr. Singh, you were the first one. Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. think about it, do not get it wrong, take a minute, I do not mind, just try think about it mentally, fine, that's the thing. So if you are thinking slow at the moment, I do not mind. Ruby Sahu, I did not give you a formula for this one. Answer this. Has to be sister-in-law. How are you getting it incorrect? Has to be sister-in-law. Aunt, himself, a variety of answers, right? Just look at this without drawing the tree. Correct me if I go wrong somewhere. I think I'm right. This is about A. A says pointing towards a lady. So A is pointing towards a lady. इसको छोड़ दो अभी. उल्टा start करते हैं. Her brother is the father. You always work in the reverse direction. My only son's sister. Fine. What is my only son's sister? My only son's sister क्या होगा? मेरा बेटा उसकी बहन. मेरा एक ही बेटा है उसकी बहन. I have just one son and उसकी बहन. Who is this? This has to be A's daughter. Think about it. If somebody is saying my only son's sister, it has to be your daughter. So it's A's daughter. Father of my only daughter or father of my daughter. Who is this? This guy would be A's husband. You do not need to write this, you can do this orally. So how you proceed is, you first look at my only son's sister, you realize that it's daughter. Father of daughter has to be your husband, fine. So this becomes A's husband. Now what is it? Her brother, fine. So this lady ka brother, whose brother? She is pointing towards a lady and saying her brother, fine. So what is this guy? If you're talking about A's husband, that's A's husband's sister, fine. So if you're talking about A, what is it like? A hai, A ka husband hai, and that lady becomes A's husband's sister. So who is that lady for you? So that lady becomes sister-in-law for you. Alright, so that's the answer for this one. Kishore, you must have got it before me. Yeah, I'm very slow. I'm just good in explaining. I'm otherwise good for nothing. You must have. In fact, I'm happy that you got it before me, right? Answer this one now. This is the next one. Okay, just for a minute here, I'll just come back on screen, explain something here. This is important. Just leave this question for a moment. कुछ लोग सही इसमें पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं कि आप ये भी बोल सकते हो कि वहां पर वो जो सेकंड स्टेज पे आता है, so he can be that person himself. But I do not know what the convention says in such cases. So for me it works like this. If you are saying X, Y, Z, Z, so it means we are talking about different people. If the convention says, if you know it appears in the exams like this, that it can arrive at yourself, fine. So basically when you are arriving through this tree, you realize that the person that I am saying is A's husband is not A's husband but A, and you believe in this convention, then you can probably mark sister as the answer as well. I do not I do not have anything to say here. I do not know. But for me the common sense says that this is a lady, then A becomes a lady and that person becomes A's husband, क्योंकि वो नाम को repeat नहीं करेंगे. If they repeat and you know that it happens, then please you can go with sister or sister-in-law. In that case, it will be cannot be determined. One thing that that can tell you whether the answer would be sis or sis-in-law would be your options. So if you think that there is an option that says either A and B, A is sister-in-law, then probably they are pointing towards it that the answer as cannot be determined. I do not know, actually do not know. Take a call based on what appears and what you think the convention says. To me, common sense says if you're saying A, B, C, D, E, you will not say A is D. So A and D are the same people. So that's why I'm going with this one. I hope I made myself clear here. I'll remove myself from the screen, and that's your question. Do this now. think carefully, give me the correct answer. Yes, Ranu, you are right. I think you are the first one to arrive at the correct one. Would the answer be wife? Yes, that looks very obvious. How? This man is, now this is a man, so there I don't think there is a confusion here. When you are saying my daughter's mother, so this is wife. So A की wife तक हम यहाँ पर आ चुके हैं. A's wife. This is A's wife. Father of my daughter's mother. So this becomes basically father-in-law of A. I'm just writing this so that there is no confusion. So this is father-in-law of A here at this stage. She is daughter of the father-in-law. So daughter of the father-in-law can be wife's sister as well. Now think about it. Had it been only daughter, in this case, had it been only daughter, in that case I would have said that daughter of my father-in-law becomes my wife only. But when I am saying she is daughter of the father-in-law, so यहाँ तक तो clear है ना, this is father-in-law of A. When you are saying she is daughter of my father-in-law, so daughter of your father-in-law can be your wife's sister as well. समझ में आया? इसमें थोड़ा सा ट्रिक था. So that way it can be your wife's sister, or of course मतलब obviously this can be your wife. So there is no ambiguity in this. So the answer cannot be determined. So there are two options possible. In fact, that's the reason why I'm not giving you options here, because I want you to think and think clearly. In the exam, obviously you will use the options. So just keep yourself open. Do not make any stupid error in a question like this. This is an extremely simple question. So there are two possibilities. That lady is either wife or wife's sister. I hope all of you got it. Let's move forward to the next one now. Be careful with this. So I'm using some tricks here. So this is your next one now. Answer this. Give me the correct answer. Give me the correct answer. Okay, some people are reaching there. Again, it's tricky. I'm telling you. I think I saw one correct answer. Who was this guy? Okay, this is not a guy. This is Soni Chaudhary. Soni Chaudhary, I think, gave me the correct answer. The correct answer is maternal grandfather, maternal grandpa, or maternal grandma. Think about it. Give me the correct answer. It's a slightly tricky one. Very easy, but slightly tricky. I'll draw this for you. Fine. One thing that you need to realize here is that this is useless information. I think that's actually useless here. Look at what is happening. This guy is talking. He's saying to C, your mother D. Fine. So if I have to draw here, fine. This is C, and this becomes D. C, your mother D. So D is the mother of C. Is the younger sister of my father. So they are at parallel levels. So whoever this father is, I'm not bothered. I'll just think about it mentally. And so this is the father. Who is son of E? So this is E, and that's what's given to you. सिर्फ इसके अलावा और कुछ है ही नहीं. एंड दिस गाय, व्हाट यू नो इज दैट दिस इज अ फीमेल, योर मदर डी. नाउ लुक एट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग हियर. पूछना क्या है, हाउ इज ई रिलेटेड टू सी. तो इसका जेंडर तो मेरे को चाहिए ही नहीं सी का. आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड. इनफैक्ट व्हेन इट्स गिवन आई जस्ट इग्नोर इट. आई नो दिस जेंडर. सो दिस इज योर मॉम. हाउ इज इट वर्किंग हियर. सो दिस इज सी, दिस इज सीज मॉम डी. फाइन. उसके बाद में इफ यू लुक हियर, दिस गाय, ये जो फादर की हम बात करें, हुएवर दिस गाय इज, लेट्स कॉल हिम एक्स, मिस्टर एक्स. फाइन. दिस मिस्टर एक्स इज ब्रदर ऑफ डी. फाइन. क्योंकि फादर है तो मेल है, तो ये इसका ब्रदर हुआ ना डी का. सो इफ दिस इज ब्रदर ऑफ डी, सो इट गोज वन लेवल अप हियर. तो ये क्या है, ये रिलेशन क्या है. ये रिलेशन या तो नाना वाला है या नानी वाला है, दोनों पॉसिबल हैं. सो टू थिंग्स टू नोट हियर. You would not call it grandpa. Fine, it's different. So it's grandpa, but this maternal word here becomes important, जिसको हिंदी में तो कोई प्रॉब्लम है ही नहीं, दादा नाना में you differentiate, but even in English it's differentiated. So maternal grandfather becomes your nana and maternal grandmother becomes your nani in this case, for all of you to understand this. But यहाँ पर हमें इस e का gender तो पता ही नहीं है ना, कुछ भी नहीं पता है. So it can be a male, it can be a female. So this means that e का relation क्या हो जाएगा c के साथ में, 2 लेवल ऊपर है, तो आपको पता ही है, ग्रैंडफादर वाले लेवल पे है. तो वन थिंग इज, सिंस दिस इज सिस्टर, यहाँ पर ब्रदर सिस्टर का रिलेशन है, ये नाना वाला रिश्ता है, इसका मतलब हुआ मेटरनल वाला पार्ट तो आना ही आना है. सो दिस इज वन पार्ट. और दूसरा क्या होगा, आइदर दिस इज ग्रैंडपा और ग्रैंडमा. सो दैट्स द आंसर फॉर दिस वन. सो इट्स आइदर मेटरनल ग्रैंडपा और मेटरनल ग्रैंडमा. All right, you got this. I think we'll move forward. So just be very careful with this one. That's your next one. अर्शदीप कंफ्यूजिंग नहीं है, थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है शुरुआत में, बाद में इफ यू प्रैक्टिस इट यू गेट इट. Answer this one. This is very very simple. I do not think this is another type. I do not think I'll have anything to explain even here. Somebody said Tauji. Okay, Tauji is uncle in English. रितेश, अगर ये ऊपर से जा रहा है तो सीरियस प्रॉब्लम है यार, थोड़ा सा मेहनत कर लो, पढ़ लो इसको. ये भी ऊपर से जा रहा है तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, ये तो अरिथमेटिक भी नहीं है. दिस इज एज सिंपल एज इट कैन गेट. मिस्टर 69 सिंह, मैं सुन रहा हूं आपकी बात को, आप सबसे पहले आंसर दे रहे हो. यू आर द विनर. ऑल राइट. ऑल राइट अंकल, मुझे नहीं लगता इसमें कुछ समझाने की भी जरूरत है. दिस इज एक्चुअली सो सिंपल. हाउ वुड दिस लुक लाइक इफ आई जस्ट ड्रॉ इट रफली? इट वुड बी समथिंग लाइक दिस. आई एम नॉट इवन पुटिंग जेंडर्स हियर बिकॉज दिस इज काइंड ऑफ इररिलेवेंट. आई जस्ट नीड द जेंडर ऑफ दिस गाय, आई, इसी के लिए मैं डालूंगा ही नहीं. एंड इनफैक्ट मैंने ये उल्टा लिख दिया, अ सर्कल मीन्स अ फीमेल, सो इट शुड बी अ स्क्वायर. हाउ डू यू डिनोट मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स? आई डू इट लाइक दिस. सो दिस इज मेल फॉर मी and this is female. So this is an international convention, follow this. That plus minus thing does not suit me, it's slightly offending as well. Fine, so I did not use it, I use these circles and all. So I is a square, this is male, and you are talking about the relation of I with L. Fine, one thing which you realize, though it's not important, this K is not even required. So that's one level above, and I becomes the uncle of L. So this is a sitter, absolute sitter, and questions like this appear in your exam. Nothing to explain here, all of you got it. Answer this one now, try this. Sushobit, you can use plus minus, you can use some other convention, you can write MF, you can write absolutely anything. I follow plus, I follow this, what is this called? Square and circles, for the simple reason that I can put letters in that. It works for me. And that plus minus thing looks slightly irritating to me. Some people are saying CND. CND is fine, but there are no options given. Give me exactly what. I think I saw a few correct answers here. I think somebody answered this already. Ajay, I think, says son, daughter. Yes, it's son or daughter. It's son or daughter. Fine. Gender cannot be determined. Absolutely. This is something when I looked at this question, something just clicked to me. That's why I thought I'll tell you here. The moment you read this, fine, what do you do mentally? You realize that A, B, C are all siblings. Fine. This is what you do mentally. A is the brother of B and C. And after that, you should realize here that when I'm talking about this, D is C's mother, E is A's father. So basically I'm talking about their parents. fine. You do not need to draw this. You realize that these are children, these are 3 kids, fine, and these are their parents just by looking at this. A is the brother of B and C, A B C यहाँ आ गए. D is C's mother, E is A's father, क्योंकि आप कर्सरी लुक मारते हो ना, उस पर पूरा नहीं पढ़ते. D is C's mother, E is A's father, you quickly realize that these are the same children जिनकी हम बात कर रहे हैं. So D and E become the parents. अब पूछा क्या है, how is B related to E? फाइन, इसका पूछा हुआ है इन कनेक्शन टू दिस वन. तो डी का जेंडर तो आई डू नॉट नीड जेंडर ऑफ डी, पर बी का जेंडर मेरे पास है नहीं, बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दीज सिबलिंग्स द ओनली पर्सन हुज जेंडर आई नो इज ए. यही लिखा था ना, ए इज द ब्रदर ऑफ बी, सो इट मीन्स ए इज मेल, बट बी का जेंडर मेरे पास नहीं है. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि इज अ चाइल्ड ऑफ डी, नहीं सॉरी, ई से पूछा है ना, नॉट थ्रू डी बट थ्रू ई. So what I know is that B is a child of E, but whether it's a son or a daughter, whether it's a son or a daughter, I am not sure. So the answer becomes either son or daughter. Deal with it according to the answer options. I'm just trying to give you some ways to think about this. Use options extensively in these questions. They cannot be cousins. Think about it. They cannot be cousins. और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता है ना. देखो ABC तो इसमें होंगे ही siblings ना. There is no other option. And you look at this, D is C's mother, E is A's father. It has to be D a level above. So these are parents and these are kids. और कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता है इसमें, cousin वगैरह का, uncle का कोई scope ही नहीं है. So the answer becomes son and daughter. Okay, the next one. Yes, Arpit, cousin and brother would be specified, especially in these questions. Absolutely. Guys, answer very carefully. Answer very carefully. Most of you are calling it incorrect, I think. Okay, I think I saw a couple of correct answers. Sangeeta said maternal granddaughter. Yes, that's the correct answer. Everybody else is saying granddaughter. Momita says maternal grandpa, वो उल्टा हो गया. Maternal granddaughter को किसने बोला है? Maternal granddaughter is the correct answer. Naman, I think, also said maternal granddaughter. Jayant says maternal granddaughter. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Now this is again simple. You are again making mistakes because you are competing amongst yourselves to give the first correct answer. Fine. Okay, I do not mind that, but it's not granddaughter, it's maternal granddaughter. I will not draw it neatly for the simple reason that if I draw it neatly, you will start drawing it neatly in the exam. How is it working? The relation is asked between A and D. Fine. सबसे पहली बात आपको रियलाइज करनी चाहिए, E तो इसमें जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी ना. How is it moving? A and B पैरेलल लेवल पे हैं. So A and B are at parallel levels. What I know is that A is B's sister. तो मैं इसमें ना सिर्फ यहाँ पर इतना ही लिखूंगा. क्यों लिखूंगा? क्योंकि मुझे पता है पैरेलल लेवल पे बी के जेंडर से मेरे को कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ने वाला है. व्हाई डू आई वेस्ट इवन 2 seconds हियर? सी इज बी इज मदर, तो इसके ऊपर मदर वाली बात आएगी, तो यहाँ पर ये सी आ गया, दिस इज मदर. उसके बाद में डी इज सी इज फादर, तो ये क्या हुआ है? आपके नाना हो गए ना, नानू जिनको आप बोलते हैं. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? ए एंड बी आर सिबलिंग्स हियर. फाइन. एंड आफ्टर दैट यू गो लेवल अबव, वेयर? टुवर्ड्स योर मदर्स साइड. सो दिस इज योर मदर्स साइड. सो व्हेन यू मूव टुवर्ड्स योर मदर्स साइड, फाइन, मैटरनल वाला रिश्ता आ जाता है. सो यू मूव हियर, देन इट्स फादर. तो ये क्या हुआ? दिस इज योर grandfather. But which grandfather? Maternal grandfather. But I am asking how is A related to D? So it's the reverse relation. नीचे आएगा यहाँ पर, 2 generations नीचे आएगा. So what is it? This is a granddaughter. Understood? But which granddaughter is this? This is maternal granddaughter. Why? Because यहाँ पर ये mother involved थी. So the moment I've been telling you again and again, whenever it's a spouse, especially a wife or a mother involved, the family changes. You get into that other family. Fine. So this is the reason that when you see a wife or a family, just be a wife or a mother, just be very careful. So यहाँ पर A B siblings, C mother and D father of your mother, so that becomes your nana. and you becomes the, what is it called, natin, maternal granddaughter. I hope I got it right. So that's the correct answer, but I am not very happy. 80% at least of you got it incorrect. That's the next one. Answer this now. Deepak Kumar, there is no reason for not using plus and minus. I just do not feel comfortable using it. That's why I do not use it. You can use it, no problem. Sony is very happy because she gave a correct answer, I think, today. Yes, Sana, poti nahi, natin. Yes. Okay, all of you are giving the correct answer. The important part here was, and this is an actual exam question. You do not need to do anything here. You do not waste any time here. It can be answered just by looking at these two statements. And you will say, how would I know that? You have to observe, you have to look for things like that. When it's a blood relation puzzle, a simple one like that, I would not want to waste any time here. So I'll look at clues like this. I realized here that these are the only two statements here. D is the only son of C, so this is C and this is D. I'll put a square here, so D becomes the son of C, and E is the sister of D, so E becomes the sister of D. And how is E related to C? E का क्या रिश्ता होगा? So E becomes the daughter. Can it be anything else? और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता है. इनफैक्ट हो सकता है यहाँ पर C का जेंडर वगैरह मेरे को पता चल जाए, मेल है, फीमेल है, क्या है, बट एम आई इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस? नो, I am not interested because I already know the gender of E. I know that E is female. So when I know this, when I know the connection between E and C, these two has to be D, this guy, fine, my job is done. So I will not look for anything else. Now you will ask me, how would I know this? ये तो after thought हो सकती है, मैं मानता हूँ कई बार हो सकती है, but again I'm just erasing this. I'm telling you why it can click to you. I'm not saying it should click to you. Please listen to me. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying why it should click to you. If you look here, we have to compare between, or we have to find a relation between E and C. यहाँ पर E कहाँ आता है? If you look here, the only place where E appears is this. और कहीं आता ही नहीं है. तो मैं सीधा इसको कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश तो करूंगा ना डायरेक्टली, so that I can save some time. You realize here that E is just connected with D. तो E का अगर किसी से भी मेरे को एक connection establish करना है, if I have to establish a connection of E with anybody else, probably the only, not probably, in fact I do not think E appears anywhere else. The only route has to be through D. I look at D. Where does D appear first? D appears first here. D is the only son of C. C भी आ गया. तो मैं क्यों देखूंगा आगे? Are you getting the logic? I start with E. सबसे पहले मेरे को यहाँ E दिखाई दिया, मैंने ढूंढा यहाँ पर E सिर्फ एक जगह आया. E जैसी एक जगह आया, मैंने देखा इसका कनेक्शन D से है. जैसे मैंने देखा D से कनेक्शन है, मैंने D ढूंढा यहाँ पर. D यहाँ पर देखा, फॉर्चुनेटली मेरे को पहले में C दिखाई दे गया, तो मेरे को E D C यही कनेक्शन चाहिए था ना, ये स्टैब्लिश हो गया और मेरा आंसर आ गया. Are you getting it? So it's just about practicing it and getting speed, and you get questions like this. This is an actual exam question. Are you getting it? So answer becomes daughter in this, and you get it extremely quickly if you do it like this. If you want to make a family tree, you can do it. I will make a family tree if it's a set of 3 questions, but if it's a single question, I will try looking for things like this. इसका कोई और तरीका नहीं है, मैं भी जल्दी नहीं करता हूँ. I practice and then I get it fast. ऐसा कोई इसमें जादू नहीं होता है. Just be conscious of all such things. Again an actual exam question, try answering this. This is again an actual exam question, last year's question. In fact हो सकता है आपको उसकी कोई याद भी हो. आंसर करो इसे. We need not milliseconds, a few seconds. Milliseconds बहुत कम है यार, उसके लिए इतनी एफर्ट मत मारो. Arvind, every word I said, I did not leave anything. I said everything in English only. Just repeated one part in Hindi. Yaar. You have not missed anything. Believe me. Okay, multiple answers again. If you use that, this is an exam question. I have not changed any data in this. Fine. For the simple reason, probably some language. For the simple reason that I wanted to tell you that things like this happen. Look at this. You have to find a connection between G and F. आप ऊपर से स्टार्ट करो. एक तो तरीका है कि सीधा सीधा फैमिली ट्री बना लो. यू कैन ऑलवेज डू इट. ऑल ऑफ यू नो हाउ टू मेक अ फैमिली ट्री. सिर्फ जी ढूंढो. यहाँ पर जी है. आई नो इट कैन बी कनेक्टेड. डी इज द ब्रदर ऑफ जी. कुछ भी नहीं करूंगा. दिस इज जी, दिस इज डी. फाइन. आई जस्ट write it like this. Family tree तो इसके से भी बन जाएगा ना. You can make family tree through this as well. But the thing is that when I start by this. Fine. अब ढूंढो D का कहाँ है. D का सन आपको लिखना लिख सकते हो, वरना छोड़ दो. I am more interested in this statement that connects F. F is the wife of D. Fine. F is the wife of D. ये simple हो गया. और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता ना. अब आपको पूछना क्या है, इससे ही काम हो जाएगा ना. Do I need D's son or anywhere else? What I was saying is this last question is true in this as well. G और F का connection ढूंढना है. You look at just this one and look at just this one. It is done. I do not think you need anything else. The only problem here that I see is that you cannot find the gender of G by this. Okay, let's deal with that as well. D is the brother of G. This is fine. So G, D, gender for G is unknown. Fine. And F is the wife of D. So F is the wife of D. This is a couple. Fine. Since this is a couple, I am using a symbol like this to differentiate it from siblings. You already know that. So for siblings, this is again a piece of gyan. So for siblings you just use this, it works. For a couple, for example P and Q is a couple, I use this. Fine. So you can just think of it like this, that a couple is always pointing arrows at each other. Fine. कभी नहीं बोलोगे उस तरीके से. P Q pointing arrows at each other and X Y they are siblings, they live in peace. Fine. So उस तरीके से याद रहेगा इसको. So D and F is a couple. Fine. You do this. So you know that F is the wife of D. The only thing is फाइन. ये तो आपको पता चल गया इन लॉ वाला रिलेशन है कि इसका जेंडर नहीं पता है जी का. अगर मैं आपकी जगह होऊंगा तो मैं इसमें सीधा कैन नॉट बी डिटरमाइंड मार्क कर दूंगा. मुझे पता है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है इसमें जेंडर निकलेगा नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे को इसमें जी कहीं और दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. फाइन. अगर आपको चेक करना चाहता है तो चेक कर सकते हो. थोड़ा सा और 30 सेकंड लगा के इसका एग्जैक्ट आंसर मार्क कर दो. आई विल टेल यू व्हाट आई वुड हैव डन इन अ क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस. आई वुड, प्लीज लिसन टू मी वेरी केयरफुली. आई वुड हैव मार्क्ड जी for the I would have marked E or cannot be determined for the simple reason that it looks difficult that I will be able to find the gender of G, क्योंकि G मेरे को यहाँ पर कहीं दिखाई नहीं दिया. Gender G का कैसे निकलेगा? Just think about it. When I say something like P is the daughter of G, fine, something like that, or G is the son of something or somebody like that, or G is the brother of something. अब यहाँ तो कहीं G लिखा ही नहीं ना. देखो कहीं आ ही नहीं रहा. अगर नहीं आ रहा, हो सकता है कोई और तरीका आप इजाद कर लो. हो सकता है there is some other way, some other beautiful way in which you can say I can find the gender of E. Fine, निकल जाए, but it looks unlikely. So the moment I realize with the first 2-3 statements that I can mark the answer, it will be either cannot be determined or sister-in-law, brother-in-law. Fine, या तो ये होता, या फिर ये होता, या फिर E होता. I will mark E because I do not want to spend more than 10-15 seconds on a question like this. There is so much to be done in the paper. Are you getting me? You can draw this, you can arrive at the correct answer. You will realize that the answer is E, but if you want to do it quickly and have a look at all the questions, probably just do it very, very quickly. Fine. Okay, the last 2 questions now, they are again sets that appeared in last year's paper. So this is the first one. Again, for this you will have to make a family tree because this is 3 questions. You would not want to get it incorrect. That's the reason I am saying कि इसको आप फैमिली ट्री बना के करो. ड्रॉ फैमिली ट्री. लेट्स सी इफ यू नो हाउ टू मेक इट और नॉट. ड्रॉ इट नीटली बिकॉज देयर आर 3 क्वेश्चंस. आई विल गिव यू द आंसर्स वेरी क्विकली टू दिस वन. वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस. These are 3 marks for the taking. Do them now. I am giving you a couple of minutes for this. whoever wants to answer, just answer all three at once. 1 2 3 करके लेटर्स लिखिए, तभी मैं बता पाऊंगा. I am also checking the answers. This is very simple. You should not get it incorrect. ओके, आई थिंक इनफ टाइम फॉर अ क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस. इससे ज़्यादा इसमें कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर गेटिंग इट करेक्ट, so that's good news. The good news, because this appeared in SBI PO papers last year and this was so simple. I think you can get 3 marks in what, around 2 minutes. The only thing is that you should draw this neatly, a little neatly. How do we draw it? I'm just showing this. I'm just drawing this one for you, just this one time. In the next one I'll not draw this. T is the sister of D. Fine. So कहाँ से start करते हैं? Let's say T is the sister of D. ऐसे लिख लेते हैं. Okay. I do not have much space here to write. So T here. And let's put D here. Why did I use the circle here? Because I know the gender of T but not the gender of D. D is married to P. Fine. तो ये कहाँ पर इसको extend करते हैं? It becomes something like this. P is the son of M. Fine. इसको M को किधर लेके जाएं? Okay. So something like this. This is understandable, I think. T is the mother of J. T is the mother of J. So let's put J here. We do not know the gender, we just keep it like this. Y is the father of U. Y U इसमें है नहीं, so I'll not put it here. Y again Y, I'll not put it here. U is the daughter of T. U is the daughter of T. Fine. So T का there is already one child J, so I'll put U parallel to J. So I know that U is the sister of J. I do not know the gender of J yet. Move forward. U is the daughter of T हो गया है. Q is the son of D. Fine. यहाँ पर इसके son की भी हम बात कर रहे हैं. So it becomes Q. Let's see what all we had left. Y is the father of U. Fine. Y is the father of U. This is U here. So it means that Y should come at this place. He is a male and he is married to T. So that's how it should look like. So it means that J and U are siblings, right? This is okay. And Y has only one son and only one daughter. It means that J has to be a male. Have I left anything here? No. P is the son. हाँ, just one thing. P is the son of M. का मतलब हुआ that P is male and D becomes a female. I think I've drawn it correctly without making any stupid inadvertent error here. Fine, this is it. So that's your family tree. I don't think that you know the gender of M. So just try answering. How is P related to T? This is P and this is T. P I think becomes the brother-in-law because the gender of P is known. Fine, this is okay. How is J related to D? This is J and this is D. This is very obvious. ये nephew होगा. So this becomes option D. And 3, if M is the wife of W, so this is M, so this she becomes a female and that becomes W then. So आपके पास दादाजी भी आ गए अब यहाँ पर. How is Q related to W? Where is Q? This is Q. Fine, ये तो clear ही है ना. This is mother of D is mother of Q, so P and D are parents of Q and W becomes the what is it? This is grandson. So W becomes grandfather and this becomes grandson. So how is Q related? Q becomes the grandson of W. So the answer becomes option B. So इसमें कुछ भी नहीं था. C D B, that's the correct answer. Not C D E, it's C D B. Fine, you can exactly determine that W is the grandfather and Q is the grandson of W. There is no other possibility and you get 3 out of 3 in this. और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता इसमें. Devote 2 minutes, draw neatly, whatever, just capitalize those 3 marks. When I say that use those tricks and everything, I say those for those questions which are lengthy and we just carry 1 mark. So try them quickly, try answering them quickly. But when it's a question as simple as this one, fine, you would want to get 3 out of 3. So just draw it neatly. Just one last question for the day before we come to our Gyan session for 5 minutes. So this is the last one. I'll not even draw the tree, just give me the correct answer again from last year's paper. Again answer this, take 2 minutes, give me the correct answer. I'm not going to discuss this, this is so simple, I'll just tell you the answers, arrive at the answers quickly. Yeah, so many of you saying BDA और कुछ आंसर्स का हो ही नहीं सकता. It's so simple. I'm just marking the answers. I'm not even going to discuss this. I showed it to you because that's the answers. BDA, because that's an actual question. So I wanted you to realize how easy this is. I mean, this is actually so simple. This is what appears in the exam. तो जो हमने किया, it's a level above that. Fine. But what appears is this. So the last 3 questions are all actual exam questions of SBI last year. The difficult part of blood relations lies in the puzzles, the arrangement puzzles, which are anyway going to discuss. Fine. So this is it from my side on blood relations. There is something that I wanted to share with you when it comes to attempting the mocks, because I've been getting a lot of queries on how to do it, कैसे करें, क्या analyze करें, क्या करें, क्या नहीं करें. So let me just move forward. After this, it's just practice. Let me just share something with you when it comes to mocks. Fine. So the query that we keep getting on these questions is मैं क्या करूँ, मेरा score नहीं improve हो रहा है. What do? I cannot improve my score. A very common theme is that I know the concepts, I just cannot apply them at the time of exam. This is one. Fine. For that, my answer is that without practice you cannot apply anything. You look at ratio, proportion, mixture solution, profit and loss, everything. If I have told you something in 2 hours, practice 100 questions on that. Once you practice 100 questions on that, then you will get good at attempting in that particular manner. So till that time in the mocks, do not think about applying my thing or your thing or whatever thing. Apply whatever you used to apply. Once you practice 100 questions, the same goes for something like reverse syllogism. Practice 100 questions on those lines, then you will get comfortable with those techniques. Fine. So do not expect any magic. Keep working hard. Use your when it comes to mocks, use your conventional techniques till the time you get okay with these kind of things. So that's one. 2 is that people say I take mocks, I am good, but in mocks I just cannot perform. For these kind of people, I have an advice. Please listen to me carefully here. When you take a test, fine, there are 2 things that you do with the test after that. One is that you look at the solutions of those questions that you do not understand. This is one. Fine. So I do not understand 10 questions here. I look at the solutions, do it, add something to my arsenal, get better at the subject and things like that. But that is just one part. And if you ask me, that's not even the most important part. The most important part when you take a mock is analyze the mock. Now, what is the meaning of analyzing the mock? Analyze करना होता क्या है mock को? I'll explain to you in very basic terms. Very basic terms. You have got 60 minutes. I'm talking about prelims. The same thing follows for mains as well. You have got 60 minutes. You've got 100 questions. Let's say even if you get a 60 in the test, for a moment, let's assume that you get a 60 in the test, which is a fairly good score. Do you need to analyze the test? अगर आप मेरी बात मानते हो, yes, you need to analyze the test. Probably you could have got a 72 or a 65. Who knows? Fine. Analyzing means that you look at all 100 questions. All 100 questions means all 100 questions. This is a time-consuming exercise. You'll actually give it a lot of time. Look at all 100 questions. Try to find out which are the questions that you just did not look at, and it happens with everybody. Even the best of the test takers, it happens. Just look at those questions that you could not have a look at. You will realize that invariably 5 or 7 or 8 of those questions would be sitters. Next time you need to minimize that number. Number 2, you will realize that there were some questions on which you just got stuck. Why? Because you went to the examination hall with a preconceived notion, thinking I'm good at blood relations. Fine, I'm good at arithmetic, I am good at simplification. No, you do not have to do it. You treat the paper on its merit. Fine, you treat the paper as it is, as the way it is in front of you. You do not know what's going to come in the examination hall. So do not go to the examination hall thinking मैंने बोला था blood relation आसान है. हाँ आसान है, आज तक आसान है, but I do not know what's going to appear. And it happens with everybody. I think I'm good at puzzles, so I have this natural proclivity of moving towards puzzle in the very beginning, which is a very bad strategy. There are so many easy questions like this. Why should I do puzzles in the beginning? But it does not matter to me anymore. When I made my mistakes a long time back, now it's your time to rectify your mistakes. Work on these things. Treat the paper on its merit. I just keep repeating this so that it gets into your head. It's extremely important. Do not waste your time on any question type or not type any question that you think you are good at, but it's not happening at the moment. Probably वो question गलत है. Probably वो question बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल है. Take care of these things. Last thing that I wanted to tell you, I do not want to extend it further. After each such analysis session, just arrive at a number like this. For example, you got a 60. I'm saying 60 so that people who are getting good marks do not think that do not need to analyze it. You will invariably realize that given the time constraint, given that 1 hour time duration, you could probably have scored 10 or 12 more marks. Now this gap, I call this your optimal score. Let's say you realize that you could have got a 72. Now I call this 72 your optimal score and 60 your achieved score. If this gap is not reducing in the subsequent mocks, it means that you are not learning from your mistakes. This is extremely critical for somebody who's getting a 30, and probably even more important for somebody who's getting a 60, because you actually stand a very, very good chance of cracking the exam till the final stage. Please realize this. Do this after every mock. You will gradually realize that my difference between my optimal score and my actual achieved score is reducing, and it reduces only by analysis. Put it down on a piece of paper, keep it with yourself. Mock 1, this is the difference. And by optimal score, I do not mean कि मेरे को तो 100 का 100 आता था, I can do over 100. No, just think about it very rationally, very logically. Just think on these terms. Could I have done it under exam conditions? And to the answer to the many questions, it would be yes, I could have done it. Why I did not do it? मेरे पास time ही नहीं बचा था. ये नहीं चाहिए. You're getting it, there's a difference. So I tell you the answer to a beautiful puzzle, you'll say ये तो बहुत आसान है. वो वाला नहीं मैं काउंट करने को बोल रहा हूँ. The thing that I'm saying is there are questions that you know you are capable of doing. You will realize them yourself. अरे ये मैंने देखा नहीं, होता है ना, उनको रिड्यूस करने की बात कर रहा हूँ. This is analysis. So this is my answer to all those people who keep saying मैं मॉक में क्या देखूँ. 2 घंटे का मॉक, 1 घंटे का मॉक ना, you analyze it for 3 hours. Solutions and then this thing. This difference needs to be reduced. So if on the 20, whatever the exam date is, 27, 28, 29 April, whatever it is, if in the next month, 1 month, you can reduce this difference to let's say some 4, 5, 6 marks, you would do wonders in the exam. For people, it is as bad as a difference of 30 marks. When I come out, I realize, I could have scored a 60 easily without you telling me the solutions or without me looking at the solutions. Fine. In the exam, I got 30. For good test takers, it's very little, 10, 12, 15 marks. But even they should try reduce the margin. If you talk in terms of your competence in terms of English and math and all, fine, that's just one part. So I'll show you people who, when it comes to exam results, one would get a 75 and other would get a 50. And when it comes to performance outside of examination, I realize there's hardly any difference. Why? Because this former guy is a very, very good test taker. Fine. So concepts and all is one thing. We are not just even talking test taking at this stage. We'll probably do a session or 2 on that later. But start working on it consciously. Fine. Start working on it consciously. You will not do well in the exam unless you do it. This is extremely critical. Now we have got a question or 2 to ask me here on this, because we are talking test taking strategy. Do it, otherwise I'll wind up this session. If you want, you can type a couple of questions. I'll answer that and then wind up. Please do it. Anything you want to ask? I'm just giving you a quick 2 minutes. You can ask me, then I'll wind this up. I do not think anybody has anything to ask here. All are either busy in other issues. Okay, if that's the question, what's the next session? The next session is what? Yeah, mensuration. The next session is mensuration. Somebody told me it's mensuration. It's happening tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Arpit, I'm not talking about RC and all. RC नहीं होता, बाद में कर लो. Puzzles नहीं होते. Okay, another thing, good you reminded me here. Had I been in your place, I would have curbed my instincts and not attempted puzzles first. No matter how good you are at puzzles, I think I'm good at puzzles, I still take some time. You have to read that much data, attempt 4 questions, it will take 4-5 minutes. There are questions in the paper for which you will probably just need 2-3 minutes to attempt 5 questions. So I'll curb my instinct to attempt puzzles. Same goes with RC. I'll not do it. I'll do questions like synonyms, antonyms if they appear, double fillers, things like that, simplification and all such questions. So have an approach in mind and then deal with the paper on its merit. How many questions we should attempt? Again, Alam, it's that same thing. Do not go there with a preconceived number in your mind. I'll do this, I'll do that. Ideal time gap between 2 tests, Sumit is asking. Sumit, it can be anything as long as you are analyzing the first one. The idea is to keep improving. So you do not analyze the first one. How would you improve? You analyze the first one, you work consciously on your mistakes, and then you go to the second one. That's my advice. 1 test in 2-3 days would be good enough. 1 in 4-5 days is also good. And you start taking full length tests once you are done with your syllabus. So you can take it now as well if you are left with a couple of topics, but generally you take full length tests when you are done with your syllabus and all. Okay, my scores fluctuates between 35-49. Vineet, it's time for analysis. Time management in PT means prelims, I'm saying. Time management का देखो, if you talk about time management, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. The cutoffs for sections are so low that unless you absolutely mess up one section, sectional cutoff should not be a problem. For example, cutoffs would be like 6, 7, 6, 7 or 8 in each of the sections. The overall would be around 50 if I go by the last year's pattern, and what I want you to score is a 75. So how can somebody from whom I am expecting a 70 or a 75 marks miss a sectional cutoff? It's like close to impossible unless you absolutely mess it up. So give each section at least 15 minutes, then the rest 15 minutes to a section that you think you can maximize score, or 2 sections, distribute those last 15 minutes between 2 sections in which you think you can maximize your score, and you will never miss the sectional cutoffs. But at least 15 minutes to each section, that's the key. You will never miss the cutoff. Okay. Mains के test कर सकते हैं. Shreya is asking, should we do mains test? Yes, you can do mains test. You can definitely do mains test, but if you're not done with the prelims syllabus, then I'll not advise doing that. Otherwise, you can start which section first. There is again no rule. You decide it yourself. Input output, I think we have already done. Okay. Yes, this is another important question. Good, somebody mentioned it. People have been asking us, prodding us to do banking awareness. There is one reason why we are not doing it. English and maths and reasoning do take some time in for you to grasp and get a hold on it. Banking awareness does not. My only advice for you at the moment is just keep yourself abreast with the latest affairs in the banking industry and general knowledge as such. Fine, just keep reading the newspapers, magazines and everything that we discussed in the orientation session. The specifics that are needed will take care of that. Fine, so you do not spend 2-3 hours daily on a general affairs at this point. No, if you are already getting a 75 in a prelims, I do not mind that. You probably max out your score, want to max out your score, I'm okay with that. But if you're struggling with prelims, you're getting a 35 and you're doing banking awareness, I do not know, seriously. That's something I seriously do not understand. आपका अभी prelims का ही भरोसा नहीं, आप banking awareness करके क्या करोगे? If you're getting a 70 and confident, do it. Fine. Having said that, I'm again repeating, I am not teaching, Samir is not teaching banking awareness at this stage because it's not required. You can do it on your own. We will come up with capsules that kind of combine all the important stuff in one go, and then we'll deliver that to you. 4 or 5 or 7 would do, not more than that is required. Till that time, work on it on your own. You do not need to just go that deep into banking awareness. ऐसा कोई चीज़ नहीं है जिसके लिए आपको बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम लगेगा. Input output prelims में आएगा, I do not know. Where can find mock tests to solve? I think Richa, you'll have to buy mock tests from one of the providers. Okay. 50 plus is good. I would want you to get a 70. Don't get me wrong. Why would you want to take any chances? Another reason why I keep saying 70 is if you are at 50 here, let's say 50 is the cutoff, you are at 50. It means that I'm assuming it's the same sample that would be appearing for the mains as well. If you're getting a 50 here, there's a good chance that you'll be just scoring about the cutoff in your mains exam. If you do it in your mains as well, how would you get a final call? If you're getting a final call, if you can check this data, I do not have a sample for that, but you can check it. For the people who cleared the cutoffs with 10, 15, 20 marks are the people who generally crack the mains. So if you're just on the borderline, you're actually playing with it. Fine. So do not aim for a 50 or a 60. Aim for clearing the prelims cutoff by 20 marks. Now it might you might say it's easier said than done, obviously, but what is the ultimate objective? Is it to clear the prelims exam or the mains exam? No, the objective is to get a final call letter. For that you need to do it. Is it necessary to give extra 5 minutes for a preliminary for analysis after completing all sessions? I am repeating myself, it's important to analyze all the tests you take. Sitting arrangement में blood relations an irrelevant question. Anything? Give strategy on reasoning portion. Madhav, there is no strategy. Had I been in your place, I would have left puzzles in the first go. I would have left puzzles, started with the easier types, उससे भी cut off clear हो जाएगा easily, and maximized my score elsewhere. Fine. Puzzles बाद में करना. I am again repeating. If there is something that's like just 3 lines and 5 questions, then it's a no-brainer. You know what you need to do. Saurav, I missed your questions. They are scoring. If you can just type it again once. I'm here for another 5 minutes. Pankaj, grade of test series is actually slightly tougher. In fact, all the test series is slightly tougher than what appeared in the last year. So if you are not able to cross 33, do not worry. I think it will be almost equal to 45 or 50 in the mains exam. But you still need to pull up your socks. This is you still have some way to cover. But all these test series in fact are slightly tougher than the actual exam, which happens. Yes, Ajay, 60 minutes, 70 marks. That's not unachievable. I'm not saying you feel disappointed if you do not get a 70. Not like that. But I'm saying aspire for it at least. Do not aim for a 50. इंग्लिश में नेगेटिव मार्किंग हमेशा होगा क्षितिज, यू कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट, इंग्लिश इज लाइक दैट, इंग्लिश एट टाइम्स इज नॉट कॉन्क्रीट, सो डू नॉट वरी अबाउट दैट. Computer awareness, Rachna, I'll go with that same thing. Do whatever you need to do on your own. We'll do whatever is required for you to clear the mains exam, score well there. कंप्यूटर्स में क्या आता है ये भी चेक करना होगा एक बार. अब आता ही नहीं है शायद, आई थिंक. Okay, this is an important question. Sunil is saying, should I take a mock on PC or any hard copy would work? Definitely on a PC, not on an app, not on a hard copy, not in some other mode. You want to simulate the exact exam conditions, guys. What does that mean? How would you appear on an exam on an app? No, it has to be a PC. Simulate the conditions. Fine. Simulate the conditions means you can go to any extent in simulating the conditions. Shut off yourself from the world. Fine. Switch off your mobile phone. Do not look at anything. Just keep a watch with you. Even that's not required in a digital test. Ask anybody at home not to disturb you for those 60 minutes. If possible, take it during daytime. Why daytime? You will be appearing for the test during daytime. These are things that actually work for you. If I take my tests at 3 in the morning regularly, I'll probably not perform to my maximum thing in the actual exam, because that would happen at 11 in the morning. मेरा दिमाग नहीं चलता उस समय. Even things like simple things like these matter, and these matter. मेरा दिमाग किसी और समय चलता है, मैं एग्जाम किसी और समय दे रहा हूँ. Fine. So the last 3-4 tests probably at the same slot at which your exam thing is scheduled. So simulate it to this level. Do not take it on an app. Do not take it as a hard copy. Do not save money to this extent at least. Test series just costs 500 rupees. Okay, anything else? Vivek, we are covering most of the main syllabus at this point only, so there is nothing new. Fine, we'll probably do a few workshops after this. Okay. Himangi says how to prepare English. Himangi, nothing special, just keep reading. We have been keep repeating this. In fact, another thing, good you mentioned this. English mein, the important thing is that you read a lot. We have already done 4 or 5 sessions on English, then maybe another 2 or 3. But English is not mathematics in which you have to understand the concepts. No. So we do a session on parajumbles. Now you know how to look at mandatory pairs, how to eliminate options, how to arrive at the answer. Now the important thing for you when it comes to parajumbles is you start applying those things, and you apply those things wonderfully well, very spontaneously, without consciously looking for the answers, is when you read a lot. You read a lot, you get into that groove, you get a hang of the language, and you do well, be it sentence correction or parajumbles or anything. Reading is extremely critical. That's my only strategy for when it comes to English section, nothing else. Just after that, a lot of practice. Okay, I think it's mostly repetitive now, so alright, I'll call it a day here. You can put the rest of the queries on our Facebook group. I'll address it there. Time and work and all these things I'll do. I told you all these things. Fine, so this is it from my side today. There's nothing else to discuss here. Anything else, you put it on the Facebook group. Tomorrow would be mensuration. Samir would be taking it. It will be a 2-hour class. I think there is some stuff to discuss here. Not a very difficult topic when it comes to this exam, but you have to, nevertheless do it. At least a question would appear here, and who knows, probably slightly more. So I'll take it. I'll call it a day. I'll take your leave now. Thank you very much for your patience. This would be it from our side today. I'll see you on when? Friday today. Saturday I think. Friday would be grade up mock analysis. Fine, this is it. Thank you very much.